Greetings, dear friends. My name is Han, and you're on the channel Herald of Civilization. A few words about what I'm doing here. And to be honest, blogging is the last thing I ever wanted to do in life. Honestly, it's a very exhausting and boring activity, but circumstances are such that I need to go live, and there is no simpler and more convenient way than a little YouTube channel. That's why this channel exists. This material is dedicated to my main work, which I have been doing for the past 7 years. It is connected with the concept of human. You might ask, Ahan, what's the deal? Why spend 7 years working on the concept of human when everything is already known and understood about it? And then one concept for 7 years? Just one? Why? Well, to be honest, I slightly understand it. It's not just a concept, but a whole project, the human. Because this is not just a concept, it's a phenomenon in nature, space, and time. And the concept of human is inseparably connected to and encompasses such fundamental things as philosophy, science, religion, culture, art, politics, etc. I am sincerely convinced that the chaos and crisis beginning to overwhelm the world are the results of us forgetting what a human is and what it truly means. The goal of my work is to bring this forgotten knowledge back to people so that we can overcome the civilizational crisis and avoid destroying one another and instead move together toward a bright, peaceful, and happy future for all of humanity. The essence of my work is that there is not just an evolution of the human species as a biological form of life, but an evolution of consciousness and mind. I came to this conclusion by studying human history and the works of historians supporting the civilizational approach, as well as the work of ethnographers. I researched the mythology of ancient civilizations and the modern Abrahamic religions. So, what is the essence of this work? It is to illustrate and show that a human being is, first and foremost, a spiritual phenomenon, namely consciousness. As Hegel said, being is determined by consciousness. It is to demonstrate that there is no chaos in the world or in human history, and that everything follows a single evolutionary law. All of us humans are inseparably connected to one another. It is to show that the history and destiny of an individual nation is closely intertwined with the history and destiny of other nations. The differences in cultures, nationalities, and traditions are not a problem. These are minor intraspecies differences. In essence, we have one human culture and one country, planet Earth. We are just one small step away from completing the long stage of our development and finally creating a planetary community. From there, we will move forward to interstellar migration, the exploration of the oceans and beyond. This work will show the detailed path of the evolution of human consciousness from the wild primitive era to our time. Of course, a large part of the new cycle will be dedicated to the mystical religious tradition, along with the global spiritual legacy, because humanity begins precisely from this point. The best way to convey this idea is with a quote from the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata. Homage to the two sages, Nara and Narayana. So begins the first book of this wonderful epic, and it means the following: deep reverence and gratitude to the human and the divine. The term Nara in Sanskrit means human, while Narayana means God. The Adi Parva begins with this verse because ancient thinkers wanted to emphasize that only for humans does the spiritual realm exist, and only humans are capable of understanding God. But what is a human? What qualities do they possess? How do they interact with the surrounding space? And how do they manifest in the world? All of this will be explored in the new cycle called The Human. In this cycle, we will touch on the key pillars of the ancient world, such as ancient Egypt, Hellas, and Bharatavarsha. We will explore the cultures, philosophies, and science and how they influenced the peoples of their regions. Together, we will examine what culture is, what civilization is, and what primitive culture is. We will delve into the concept of civilizational periods and figure out how we have arrived at our current historical moment. We will analyze how all the world's religions are connected and what they mean for civilization. And ultimately, why is the world on the brink of a third world war, and how can we stop it? Can we confidently step onto a spiritual platform in this digital age, and does such a platform even exist? I am convinced that if we do not recognize the importance and uniqueness of our historical moment and become embroiled in a third world conflict, it will reset our global civilization and we will have to begin our long evolutionary journey all over again. After millennia, God is once again on earth, and we will be able to see Him and follow Him. It will require a small effort on our part to remember what it means to be human. This is why I have researched the parallels between philosophy, science, and religion to extract that kernel of truth that unites us as human beings all over the world. I am doing this simply because I have an unshakable belief in humanity and the power of the human spirit. I believe that in the new world there will be no place for wars, bloody tyranny, and other forms of despotism. I believe that very soon we will live in a world without wars, hunger, disasters, or self-proclaimed kings and dictators. In a world where the diversity of cultures is not a contradiction or a subject for politically correct courtesies, but instead a pearl in the beautiful vast tapestry that makes us the people of Earth, whole from west to east, from north to south.